Hi, I'm Danielle Taylor, and these are my three girls. This is our oldest, Kate. Kate is an 8-year-old Chihuahua Poodle mix, and this is her sister, Abby, who is a 7-year-old Chihuahua Poodle mix. They are actually half sisters. And this little whirlwind is Ellie, and she's our newest, she is actually 2.5 now. And she is 25% Australian Shepherd and 75% Poodle. And they are just delightful. We are sold on the Poodle mix because we do have a family member with allergies, but it's a bit more about their personalities. They're funny and silly and quirky, and that just really seems to fit us. They are the first poodles that we've owned. We've previously been Chihuahua and Retriever owners. My husband and I both grew up with English setters, so we like big dogs. And our son's first dog was a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. We accidentally got into the Chihuahuas because when my father passed away, I thought a Chihuahua would be a great idea for my mom. And she loved the Chihuahua, but would much rather it be at our house than under her care all the time. So Kate was my empty nest dog. My youngest child had gone off to college, and he had been gone for a year. And our Chihuahua that we had at the time was elderly and grumpy, and we thought she needed a friend, and so we brought Kate home. And she was supposed to be all nicely bonded with me. And we got her on a Saturday, and I went on a business trip on the Monday, and I came back on Friday, and she was totally bonded to my husband and really still does not care if anyone else is around as long as my husband is there. He was that person you see in all of the memes on Facebook, the one that didn't want the dog. And so he switched from not wanting the dog to, she spends most of her time wrapped around his neck like a scarf, and really seriously does not care what else is going on as long as my husband is around. And he is pretty much the same way with her.
That's so cute.
So I decided, well, that wasn't fair. So I surprised my husband with Abby and thought Kate needed a friend because the Chihuahua was really getting to the point that she was elderly, and we lost her 3 years ago. Abby was going to be my dog, and she was going to be Kate's playmate, and Abby is just a little quirky individual. She does her own thing on her own time. She's very skittish. She was born skittish and has maintained that. I say born. She's been skittish since we got her at 8 weeks. There was no particular incident. There was no particular problem. It's just her personality. So we've always considered her a little bit fortunate that she has super tolerant family members here, because that quirkiness has caused some issues over the years because she just takes forever to get friendly with people. Out of the three, she's probably the sweetest, most gentle of the three of them. So it's just that quirkiness that comes out in her. And Ellie was supposed to be a therapy dog. I would like to do hospital visits, nursing home visits, particularly with people with Alzheimer's, because my mother was an Alzheimer's victim. So we were doing training, and she had a bit of a negative incident with another dog in a group class that really impacted her and her confidence. So that's how we got in touch with you. Saw people talk about your training on Facebook, reached out, and goodness, I guess we've been training with you, and you've been training the girls for a couple of years now. So that's been a really big help. As you can see, Ellie is probably not as short on confidence as she once was. She's very much an active, assertive pup. At home, where her shyness comes out, it's more when we're out around other people and in unfamiliar situations. So we're still working on those things. And she's still a puppy. You're Elle.
And I wanted to ask, how did you go from, your standard Chihuahuas to Chihuahua Poodle mixes?
really by accident. Kate is actually from the same breeder that we got our original Chihuahua Biscuit from. She's the one that passed away 3 years ago. We had her for 13 years. So when it was time to find another companion, we went back to her, and she happened to have started doing these mixes. And I know people have a lot of opinions about that.
Yes, they do.
I've just seen the best of it because they just are delightful, and I find the mix to be a little bit more open and loving than a traditional Chihuahua, or just a purebred Chihuahua rather.
She's got those little baddie ears. They're so cute.
It's funny how they've got all this poodle mixed in with them, but they each have very interesting characteristics of their own. So
They do.
the poodle is the common element between Kate and Abby. Kate's mother was a long-coated Chihuahua, and Abby's mother was a smooth coat.
Oh, okay. It's really interesting how similar they look, though. Like,
Yeah.
there's still such a genetic variance, but they look, I thought they were from the same litter. What are your favorite things about each dog?
Kate is the princess, and she gets called the princess, and she behaves like a princess, so I just love her. She's not lacking in confidence. So she thinks the world revolves around her, so I love that about her. Abby, it really is the sweetness. She's my little sweetheart. If you are sick, Abby is as close to you as she can get with she will go days with no potty breaks unless you just make her, or no food breaks. She's very attuned to how you feel, and I love that sensitivity about her. And then this is my angel. This is the one that did bond with me. So while my husband is very much a caregiver for her, she is very, very bonded to me and my youngest son. And she is just an absolute monkey. She does not realize that she is, 3-4 times the size of her sisters, except that she tries to be gentle around them, so you can see that she is sensitive to their size, but does not mind engaging in play with them constantly. And she is just a monkey. She gets up on furniture. She wants you to hold her. So she just thinks she's a lap dog.
She's so cute. What made you decide to book with Telltail Dog Training?
Well, there were a lot of really good stories and feedback from your clients. I think we actually had you come in to help us before we got this one with these two, trying to get them not to react to the door. There's progress, but still work to be done. And then I recommended you to a friend of mine for 2 Westies that she got at the same time.
Yes, I remember that. Yep.
And she loved you, and then it just came around full circle where it was like, okay, well, we just really need to get help for this girl when she had that issue in the group class. She had gone through, it was her 4th group class, and she had done so well. And this was just such a negative instance where she was on a long lead, and so was another dog, a larger dog in the class, and he broke training, broke from the command that he had been given. They were both next to each other, and he came after her. And I was chasing her under tables and over chairs, and it was just a really not good experience. We gave you a call and started doing individual working sessions. I've never used the method that you use where everything's positive reinforcement. I have trained all of the dogs that we've had, and it's always been more that traditional, I'm the leader, you follow my commands no matter what you want to do kind of training, and that clearly was not a good fit for this dog. So, or these dogs. I'm really starting to think probably not any dog. Method just really fit with us. Well, we love your training walks. My husband and I both work. He works out of the house a lot, but the girls are alone a lot. People look at me like I'm crazy when I say they look forward to Thursdays. They do. They have a pattern with you, and they know Thursdays are the days that you're going to come, and they get special time with you by themselves. And then we mix in a few of your group classes, which have gone really great. I enjoyed those. We'll get back into the group classes and individual sessions with you as well, but those training walks have just really been a lifesaver for them over the summer.
So what changes have you seen?
All three of the girls are much more settled. Probably the one that I've seen the greatest impact with confidence is actually this one. You know, when you first noticed that she was actually, you were working with Ellie mostly, but she actually started seeking out the training and the attention and wanting to do things to get your approval. So that has been awesome for her. And she has started doing basic commands and tricks for us, and it really is just a positive thing for her now. I think that the confidence that's returned to Ellie has been significant, even though we still have a little ways to go and really need to start doing like the class that you have that'll go out and about. That's where she needs the most work now, because her confidence just in working with us is definitely there. You can tell she's not buffaloed by much of anything. So it's really been that. Even Princess gets out of her bed and blesses everyone with a little bit of a performance here and there.
What are your goals moving forward with your pups?
For Kate and Abby, it's really continuing for them to be happy and learn more commands, and I call them more tricks with them, because I think that's how I view it, is it's their opportunity to learn how to do things that get them really positive attention. With Ellie, I still have a goal of working with her with possible therapy work. So it's going to take a while, but you know, she is a breed that has a relatively long lifespan projected. We never can know. Her long puppyhood and her taking a little bit longer to develop the skills she needs as a therapy dog really, I don't think, are a disadvantage. So just want to continue working with her on her confidence and find out exactly what it is that she enjoys and doing that.
Well, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Every time I see someone post on Facebook, I try to send them your way. First of all, the biggest mistake anyone ever makes getting a dog is thinking that they don't have to train them. I think that's a large part of the issue with the doodles, is they're so cute, and they look like a little teddy bear, and so surely they'll just behave, and they're dogs, they're animals. They need love and attention and guidance. So a lot of dogs end up in the shelter or shuffled around from home to home because the people that get them just either don't know that they have to make that kind of effort and commitment, or are just overwhelmed. And so I try to send as many people your way as I can, because I really believe working with a trainer like you in your organization, it can make a difference between you having a lifelong companion that you enjoy and having a stressor that you end up just throwing your hands up and rehoming or just dropping off at a shelter. And no dog should have to go through that. So, yeah, I think it's just all about making them the best companion and teaching yourself how to be the best companion for them. Ellie's happiest when the weather's nice and she can go for a 3 or 4 mile walk every day. And you know, there's training time every day, and my husband takes them out every evening and they play with balls for 30 minutes at a time. I mean, those are things that when you have children and commitments with the kids, you still have to find a way to make those commitments to the dog, because you chose to get them. They didn't have a choice. So, yeah, I think doodles are, in our opinion, perfect pets. We will likely not ever have anything other than a doodle. It's still going to be work, no matter how many of them you have, they all have different personalities. they will return every bit of effort you put into them 100%. So it's definitely worth the investment. There is nothing like having these wonderful, loving little creatures to share your time with.